Hello and happy gaming, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I had started this run earlier, but for whatever reason, probably just because I'm super unlucky, everything got really loud, and everything I was talking about just got thrown off. So we're going to try again, and hopefully this time things act a little bit better. Alright, so it's the same three bosses that when I tried to record a little earlier, but now their positions have been shuffled, so we'll just have to see what happens. Oh, immediately. Alright, what do we have? Attacks against enemies at full health do extra damage. And then after that, it's just a negative. Yeah, no thanks. Alright, what a mess. Immediately made things more difficult for myself by retreating into an area where there were more enemies instead of fewer. Okay, now we're back. Yeah, baby. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully with a little bit more intelligence and a little bit less failure. Another thing that happened when I tried to record this is that even outside of everything getting just completely derailed by the idea that I don't exactly have a soundproof room to do this in, is the idea that I picked up a relic I shouldn't have picked up, and that ended up just derailing the entire run. No one to blame there but myself, but it's one of those things where you see an item and you're like, okay, well, that can't be too bad, and you get tempted to pick it up, and then you realize, oh, every instinct in my brain was telling me to avoid that item. But I did it anyway because temptation is a biatch. And then what does it end up getting you? A failed run. Also, never underestimate the effect of getting hit stunned by random things, because that will keep you from getting anything done. There we go. I feel more in control now without the Magician's Wand. Hey, look at that! I was just talking about how I almost never see the Bouncing Blaze upgrade before I stopped recording earlier. And you know, I've said that at other times too, is that whenever I have Bouncing Blaze, I can almost never seem to find the upgrade for it. Now I have it, and I feel much more in control. And depending on what relics there are for sale, I may go back for Tracer Barrage as well. So let's have a look. I will definitely take that. Signature Charge stays active until used. I like Infinity Marble as well. That's more so quality of life than anything else, but I think it helps. The downside of having the piercing fireballs, though, is that they don't necessarily stop enemy projectiles anymore, which it might have just been something with their specific fireballs, I don't know. What the heck? Okay, can I stop failing now? I guess only I can actually answer that question. But yeah, I was just plain awful. And Frost Fan is magnificent at close range. So there we go. not a bad first start. Now we just need to, you know, not be terrible. And unfortunately, from the look of things, I cannot guarantee that. So, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like that should have, like the fireball should have hit you. So, when last I was talking about the D&D game that we were playing, I had talked about how we had just made our way through the bloody forest and purified it, which, again, I thought I was going to need to put a little bit more input into that, but it just sort of happened, much to everyone's surprise, my own included. I may be back for that. Not 100% yet. But one thing that does do is it now changes it from being a haunted forest to being a much more lush, and my guess is going to be elven forest. I have a lot of projectiles, so I definitely want that. Oh, that worked out. I don't even know what hit the other guy. Okay, yeah, piercing fireballs just aren't going to clash with enemy projectiles. That's a pain, but I suppose it could be worse. I'd rather have the improved bouncing blaze than not. But once again, I have to reconcile with the idea that oh, I can afford it now, sweet. That I'm not exactly playing super wonderfully. As by the idea that I'm already down to about half health, and I haven't even made it to the second floor yet. Go away already. Alright, I haven't found Iris yet. She's gonna be over there somewhere. Wrong portal. Oh, I wanted to go over to that part of the map. So with that forest now just acting like... And I should explain a little bit. Our game is currently running a lot like Darkest Dungeon, so it's multiple biomes with... multiple biomes with their own kind of enemy types and hazards to worry about. So, we already have a kind of lush forest biome, and we already have a biome that deals with undead enemies, so with this one kind of being a combination of lush forest and undead enemies, this kind of feels like it might have been not a step backwards design-wise, but it does feel like it was going to be an overlap. But now that the area has been purified, one thing we can do is now it's been touched by a sort of sense of divinity. So what we can do is we can throw either pseudo-angelic and pseudo-demonic, or just full-on angelic and demonic enemies in that area. One of the things that's going on is that I do like Mock Stunner. That's good for kind of pacifying an area for a little while too, so I'll probably be back for that. Which means no, I'm not going to purchase Seville's upgrade. There we go, got him. Alright, sorry, I was kind of concentrating on trying to not die. So, I apologize. I don't mean to... Don't mean to go completely radio silent. But yeah, with everything there now being, with the forest now being purified, I think it would be interesting to say that the divine aura is now a part of that place, and that and that it's attracting a sort of darker presence to either try to corrupt it or to try to counteract it. I don't know, something like that. I guess that'd be the same as corrupting it. There we go. Because, I mean, I'll take it, but it's not great. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these around. Oh, maybe they are stopping fireballs. I just need to hit on a more exact pixel. What the hell? Alright, gotta start playing better. And that would be my thought for what to do with that area, since it's no longer just like creepy cursed forest of the undead now. So who knows? Maybe if my buddy watches this video and takes my suggestion, then that's kind of what we'll work with. It would be a neat way to kind of say that yes, your character's actions are having an effect on the world around you, which is not to say that they weren't before. What it is saying is that it's a much more direct effect. That's going to offer me a lot more gold to play around with, which is going to be good both for my continued survival, as I'm still playing kind of like garbage, as well as for improving my store of relics, because I'll have a much greater purchasing power. Alright, what do we got here? I don't care about the balloon. I like Armor of Resolve, I like Sidewinder's badge. So let's see if I can afford one or both of those before we leave. Also, what is this, Dragon Dive? Not really doing it for me, not gonna lie. It's got some range, but I don't know if it counts for Gambit's for Gloves of Gambit, or is it Gambit's gloves? Gloves of Gambit, okay. If I can bottleneck my enemies, this build is doing great. It's when I have to focus on things happening around me that I tend to get overwhelmed. Which is why I would really like to get a... Really like to get an upgrade to Frost Fan, because that could help at least. Alright. So I normally use the control pad to move and aim my spells. Obviously what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to thin the herd a little bit before I jump in there. Because I do want the Cabbie's bubblegum. Now what is the upgrade? Explosion is larger and shocks enemies. As much as I like that, I do think the relics are more important. And I think of those, I'd rather have Sidewinder's badge. Even though, yes, I could use the defense because I am playing a little bit like trash, I honestly feel like I can get more done with the Sidewinder's badge. It's one of my favorite relics for a reason, and now that I have the... And now that I have the upgrade to Bouncing Blades, and there's a lot more I can do with it. God, I love Mock Stunner. So, if you guys like that idea, leave in the comments some ideas about what sort of pseudo-demonic or angelic creatures we could use for that idea, because surely we're going to need some place to begin the brainstorming. All right. Sorry, Iris, I'm just not really feeling like I need to upgrade my Dash Arcana. Fact of the matter is, it's kind of an afterthought to begin with. And with my basic now launching out Dragon Arcs and Bouncing Bubbles, we've got quite a lot of power behind our basic, so we want to make sure that our basic comes out as fast as possible. This is another one of the problems with the Magician's Wand, is if you don't have... Oh my god, I hate Elemental Lancers. Why do they get to have near instantaneous spells? It's not even right. There, had just enough room to make that happen. Alright. One creature that comes to mind for me is the Aranus, but I'm not sure if that's pseudo-demonic or actually demonic. I had read that it's actually a negative material planar, but I don't know if that's true or if I want to recommend that my buddy go with that. I really just have no clue. Which is why I say we could also just go straight with, you know, actual celestial and abyssal creatures. That could definitely be... that's an idea that could definitely be worth its weight in gold. Screw your jump attack. Right, there are definitely things here that I like. My movement speed is already good, but Paralytic Venom Stone could definitely help. I think before I make any decision, let's come over here and see what Iris is selling. Riku. You know, just because someone isn't looking at you directly doesn't mean that there's a problem. I'm sure you would disagree, and you're disagreeing right now. I know, it just doesn't feel right if not everyone is staring at you and you know, praising your every feather, but you know what, hon? You're just gonna have to put up with it. Alright. Let's hop back over here. And pick up a Paralytic Venom Stone. And we're gonna take a chance on this one. Crush Colossus again, huh? That's right, you're immune to knockback. What was I thinking? Alright, let's... yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that. Kind of a shame, but I'm not seeing a lot of options without just flat out losing, so that's what we're gonna have to work with. Now Zeal shouldn't be too hard, but I mean, I've said that before and had her ruin me because I wasn't paying attention to what she was doing. Or because the game just decides that none of my attacks hit and she gets to act super fast. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a very long fight if I can only get one hit off per cycle. There, close him. A point-blank Frost Fan is about the best thing I've got going against her right now. Kinda like that. Alright, there. Alright, now we're looking to be in a much better position. Alright, I got it. Little worried there. Oh, yes, please, give me Tidal Blast. definitely use that over this. And it's the enhanced version, so it's going to give me a barrier too. Very good. But beyond changing the undead force to, you know, essentially the landscape for like a holy war, I don't know. Hopefully my character's actions didn't screw up any plans too badly. Now, I know that's not anything I should necessarily be super worried about, because I should, by all rights, just be worried about... so that's a maybe. I do have more money to work with, so increased store prices aren't that big a deal. But before I submit myself to that, I do want to see what's available in the store. It'd be stupid for me to just accept the higher prices without seeing what I can get for a lower price first. Now both birds are complaining. Like, no, you should be over here! It's like, I get it, guys, I get it, but you just gotta chill a little bit. Thank you, Paralytic Venom Stone. I love it, I love it, I love it. Alright. Now, because of the nature of the game, there's already a lot of otherworldly stuff going on anyway. Sorry, I keep getting lost in thought, so I apologize. I know it sounds weird to hear me just stop and start on the same point as if I was suddenly just going... Trust me, it's nothing wrong with the video. It's just, I really am just kind of that dim-witted at times, so apologies. But with the nature of what's going on in the game, it only makes sense that something like that could be afoot. I might want to buy the Dragon Arcs. Shit. There's already been hintings that there's a lot of otherworldly, interdimensional stuff happening here anyway, so it just seems like it would be a natural fit for what's going on to begin with. So what that gives us is a watery biome. It gives us a poisonous forest biome. Anything here I like? Family seal. Not sure I need any of those. So just offhand, it just looks iffy. I think I will take Dragon Arc to replace the Dragon Dive. So I just don't like Dragon Dive all that much. It's not awful, but I mean, it doesn't go over pits. The damage it's doing is iffy. Especially since I have a run built around strong single hits like Exploding Fireball and, yes, Frost Fan, even though Iris refuses to upgrade it. Greedy bitch. I just think it's a better spell, so we'll stick with it. Well, I'll probably end up switching from Tidal Blast... Well, not... I'll probably end up switching from Mock Stunner to it for the Shu fight, and then probably sticking with it from there. And then, yes, I will buy the gold... Well, not buy, but accept the Golden Armor of Envy. There we go, that's looking wonderful. Good show, good show. So, like I was saying, we got the kind of poisonous forest filled with really creepy giant bug-like enemies. We already have a crypt filled with the undead, so... Well, undead and, like, necromancers and crazy cultists, so... We don't really need a second area filled with the undead. We've got an area that's filled with watery enemies, which not only does that give us a chance to use things like an object that I picked up that makes one of my characters turn into a big old anthropomorphic frog. So that gives him the ability to do things in water. But it also just means that the enemies there are already alien and otherworldly, so that's another point for what we're doing with the game. We've got a biome that's... Oh, there's that stupid wand again. No, you fooled me last time. No. Not unless the magician's top hat is there, then I'll take it. But as of right now, no, get lost. We've got the forest biome, which could have its own plant-like enemy, so we don't need the second forest biome for that. But the other thing is that that's the biome that's filled with goblins, so we also have that. So if you wanted to put elves in the other forest, we could. I see no reason not to. They wouldn't necessarily be enemies, though they might not necessarily be friends either. I don't know, there's a lot that we could do with that. Then the other area is a more, what is it, like a swamp kind of, there might actually be that, are there really that many wooded areas? Did I even think about that? But that area is filled with orcs, one of which has actually already joined our hamlet and is actually our weaponsmith. So happy times for us. Alright, so I've got the wherefore for one more relic, and I'm not sure if I want it to be if I want to take the analytical monocle or the insulated vest. Insulated vest will help a little bit against Sura, so I don't have to worry so much about his electric attacks. Analytical monocle will allow me to score more critical hits, which will slightly boost my damage output. Got him while he was dashing. Sorry, you bastard. You don't get to come close to me. But I do have room for one more relic. Enemies can no longer be knocked back. Considering how my build works, I think Now, I am right at the end of it, so I could take it just to improve my damage. But if I do that, I'm going to do it after I've taken care of everything else, because then it's going to be all bosses from there on out. And yeah, that'll probably end up being the relic that I take. We'll just kind of galaxy brain it and say, oh, I don't have to worry about the lack of knockback if I don't have anything else that would be affected by that. Kasim's Airy Cloak is also pretty nice. And if I were to drop anything for Kasim's Airy Cloak, it would be the Armor of Resolve. And the reason why I'm willing to make that trade is because Kasim's Airy Cloak is essentially going to make it so that I'm immune to being comboed to death. So I'll take 1 or 2 hits, and then if I take any more in quick succession after that, then I can just straight up avoid them. Oh, now you're willing to give me Frost Fan's upgrade. Right at the end, okay. Alright, I see what you're getting at here. You just think I didn't need it up until then, right? See, what makes Frost Fan's upgrade so nice is that it's... I'm just absolutely missing right now with all of my attacks, aren't I? But it basically pierces multiple targets, which makes the upgrade that much more worthwhile. Now, it's basically all bosses from here on out, so I'm not too worried about... Okay, I can't even drop that. Yeah, I think I'm good. So I'm not too worried about knockback at this point, since I kind of want them to stay still to get hit multiple times by either Mach Stunner or Dragon Arc to begin with. So I think we're okay. That and bosses don't really suffer knockback, not to the same degree as enemies do. God, I hate Shu so much. See what I mean about being immune to multiple hit attacks? Okay. I thought he was stunned. That was my bad. Okay, not taking that. So now it just becomes a matter of, do I think that Mach Stunner is going to be useful for anything else? My first impression is, not really. I don't have Bouncing Surge or Bouncing Bubble, so I'm going to have to be real careful around his Null Flash agents. Fortunately, Frost Fan now hits in a nice wide arc that pierces things, so I'm pretty sure that will keep that'll keep me in control. Alright, there we go. Nearly half damage with one combo. Beautiful. Ooh, almost beat him right there. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure we've won this match. Yep. Alright, that was a good run. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys have any ideas for demonic or angelic enemies we can use in that forest, post them in the comments. I will share those with my buddy since, you know, we no longer have a forest of the undead, but maybe we have a land that's, you know, going through a little bit of a celestial battle. We already have an otherworldly interdimensional battle going on, so why not just add in a couple more dimensions? So there you go. So obligatory show you the ending so that you can have a look at my build, and if you want to try it for yourself, by all means, be my guest. Admittedly, I do really like things that reduce cooldown, and Bewitching Glue might not be good at all times, but for boss battles, whew, better believe I'm loving that. So, like I said, thank you very much for watching. Leave your ideas in the comments below, and I will be back with some more stuff in the near future. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.